Well, we've all been focused on Universal Orlando's new Epic Universe theme park featuring an updated East Coast Super Nintendo world. Universal has been quietly making moves to build another major theme park, and we're not talking about the Universal Kids Resort in Texas. We're talking about something much bigger. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. This is Jonas J. Campbell from That Park Place, where we cover entertainment, streaming, theme parks, and video games twice a day. We've got a lot of info to cover in this one, thanks to our friend Vash, plus the work of his compatriot on Theme Park Universe, none other than Theme Park Wizard. They've found the SEC filings, the patents, and the whereabouts of Universal creative executives that have people wondering if Comcast and Universal are making their next big move. Maybe hit the like button or subscribe if you're interested in what we're talking about. Well, let's get into it. On the WDW Pro channel, we have talked about this, and Vash, you were the person who first brought to our attention that Universal Studios, when they get this $8 billion, or probably more like $15 billion from Disney for the sale of Hulu, what are some of the large projects that they might be working on?
Oh, well, yeah, so we know that they're working on a regional park in Texas. We know that they're working on a new 24/7 Halloween Horror Nights attraction over in Vegas. We know that they're working, obviously, on Epic Universe. But Universal has had plans to expand their theme park operation, specifically in the cruise line business, and maybe with international parks. And at That Park Place, the website, and WW Pro, we've been kind of keeping an eye on what their plans might be for Europe specifically. We've heard a lot of talk that they want to get back into the European market, and we didn't quite know where that was going to be. There were rumors that it might be Germany, rumors that it might be London, rumors that it might be Spain, and it looks like, Jonas, we have maybe found...
All right, I'm going to cut you off right there. I'm going to cut you off right there. Okay, all right. Before we get to the headline,
okay,
let's talk about this. This filing, we're going to an SEC filing because we know what our audience loves right here. Let's see if we can find the beginning of this sentence here. Primarily reflecting an increased spending on scalable infrastructure in line by the connectivity and platforms business, and increased spending on the development of the Epic Universe theme park in Orlando, so this is a separate thing, as well as $271 million associated with the acquisition of land for potential theme park expansion opportunities. That sounds like they're buying land for a theme park.
Oh, it does sound like it. $271 million buys you a lot of land, a lot of places.
And that'll buy you a lot of frijoles.
Because Vash is a genius. We'd also like to point out that he sent me this from Alicia Stella, who does a lot of amazing reporting on patents and everything that's coming up in the theme park space. Unless I'm reading this wrong, and it's translated to English, so I may be. It sounds like Port Aventura may now be looking to possibly sell only the land its resort sits on, but retain part of the company that runs the parks and hotel, leasing the land from the new owners. Right here, Port Aventura, putting properties up for sale. That's a lot of property over there in where is Portaventura?
It's right outside of Barcelona, Spain, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, and I do believe they describe that as Barcelona over there.
Barcelona.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna have to give credit to Theme Park Wizard over there for sending us some of this information as well. A lot of this information.
Ethan Becker, Theme Park Wizard, amazing guy.
Unbelievable, really good stuff.
Now, we are going to cheat a little bit and try very hard to parse the Spanish here by hitting this button. Universal Studios has also been registering almost all of its patents in Spain since the summer. Patents that had been registered in Europe for a long time, even years. Yes, today things are about patents. Who doesn't love to go through patents? So, Sistema de Realidad Aumentada para una Atracción Recreativa. System de realidad augmentada means augmented reality. And can anyone translate this vague phrase in Spanish right here?
That would be Mario El Magnifico, wouldn't
it? It's a Super Mario Kart patent. And again, forgive me if I'm rusty on my Español here. Or how about this one? A sistema de cola virtual patentado en España hace una semana. Virtual queue system and method.
We've heard a lot of these, by the way, as associated with Epic Universe, now associated in Spain.
See. Here we go. El sistema de sujeción de Gringotts patentó un junio. This is Gringotts Bank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gringotts restraint system. Let's see.
Sounds kinky.
There should be.
Y por último, la patente de España de la boom coaster tipo Donkey Kong.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Which is the most amazing system I've seen on an attraction in I don't know how long. I don't know if you've seen all the stuff from Epic Universe, but wow.
Yeah.
That business where they simulate the jumping the broken sections of track because that's not the real track. God, I can't wait to ride that.
Really
man,
cool.
it looks
stuff.
amazing. And also, while we're over here excited about getting Super Nintendo World here in the it's already in the United States because it's on the West Coast. Almost called it the left coast there. And on the East Coast, we're just about to get a land that has more Wizarding World and also more Super Nintendo World. They haven't even announced Donkey Kong Land over here for Super Nintendo World. Meanwhile, they are filing patents that indicate that they're going to be building Universal España. So that's crazy. That's amazing. While they are expanding, of course, the competition over here is shrinking. Vash, explain to me what we're looking at.
What we're looking at is the LinkedIn profile for Paige Thompson, President New Ventures at Universal Destinations and Experiences, and a LinkedIn profile for Fernando here, Managing Director Operations and Finance, Port Aventura World. Apparently, there are reports of these two men touring the Port Aventura site or active theme park. All of these indications, and they actually have a new corporate entity filed here under another SEC document. And if you look up NVU is their New Ventures Universal. We have Texas LLC. We know that's for the regional park out there. We have the Vegas LLC. We know that's for the Halloween Horror Nights attraction. And NVUL Corp. What is this all about? We're trying to figure that one out, but there is a new entity being established for what we think is going to be the next European theme park coming out of Universal right here. So we have reports of executives touring Portaventura. We have $271 million in land acquisitions for theme park expansion. Patents being filed in Spain under Universal LLC, and new venture corporate entities being added to SEC documents. Something is happening here, folks. I'm just saying. And people will know that Universal used to own actually a controlling stake, I believe, in Portaventura back in the day that they had to divest from because they were owned by, I believe, GE at the time, which didn't want to necessarily operate theme parks almost at all because even Florida at that time wasn't doing very well, and they divested a lot of their shares in that. Well, now under Comcast, they're all about theme parks. We just looked at their last earnings report. They've had a 20% increase in EBITDA or operating income. I mean, they've just been doing phenomenal when it comes to the profits in this sector. They definitely want to expand. They are seeing Disney's success on the international circuit, and I think they're looking to get back into the game for Portaventura specifically. They had plans for huge resort expansions and modification of that theme park back in the early 2000s, late 1990s. They had a range of resort hotel offerings that they were going to build out there and develop, and they had a redevelopment plan for the park itself. Well, hey, you don't even have to pay for development costs necessarily. You just dust off those old blueprints, and there you go. And I think that is the most likely scenario that we're seeing here.
It might be interesting to watch the SEC filings from Lowe's Hotels and see if they start a company in Spain to manage this stuff.
They continue to spill the beans.
Like they did
way,
with the hotel in Epic Universe, right?
Fletcher Williams. But by the way, one of our awesome mods, Fletcher and D-Bud, have been modding for us today, and you guys are amazing. Very rusty, Jonas. Thank you very much, and I'm still yo aprendo. Thank you so much, Fletcher. So, do we think then that Portaventura is? Sorry, it's so hard not to say that as one word. Port Aventura. Do we think that they are adding to Port Aventura as a park, or are they going to use the land around it?
I think both. I think both. I think the idea is to maybe purchase Port Aventura, which used to be two words. They changed it to one because of some licensing issues that they had.
Guantanamera.
It's changed hands in terms of its investment over the years, so that's kind of why. But I think the plan is to take over Ferrari World, take over Port Aventura proper, and the land holdings around there, and see if they can't develop some kind of existing ideas that they have, and redevelop that park to fit the current Universal portfolio, let's say.
Well, if anybody has any final thoughts here, please offer them up as we also tell people where they can find everyone. Lou, let's start with you.
Well, final thought would be that Barcelona has become a major high-speed rail hub in Europe since the old days when Disney talked about building in Spain.
True.
And that makes it very accessible to everybody in Germany and France and Eastern Europe and everything else. Plus, they've got a big airport that, frankly, is bigger than Barcelona needs. So, there's that.
That's a very good point. Vash, where can people find you and your final thoughts?
Final thought's going to be, it's interesting you bring that up, Lou. Harrison Buzz Price, who, was one of the, one of the people who selected Disneyland, the site, back in 55 or 54, 53, whatever, and went on to select multiple sites for the Walt Disney Company up until the day he died, which is very, very interesting. He always said Spain was the place to build, not Paris. And so we might, this is an area of land that's about, 3 miles or so from the Disney site that they were looking to build on. I think there's a great possibility, and the tourist environment and economic activity out there.
The weather is better.
The weather is much better, yes.
And Barcelona could be a big cruise port for the Mediterranean also.
And add to that the government has decided they don't want to be socialists anymore, at least the people.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of positive there.
Very, very true. You can definitely find me as a co-anchor alongside Jonas J. Campbell down there as part of that Park Place. And if you want to see a more long-form discussion like the one we're having right here, but with Theme Park Wizard himself, who has an endless amount of Universal knowledge, I will say, join us at Theme Park Universe.
Yeah, and of course, follow Theme Park Wizard on Twitter. He's always covering this stuff. He also writes for the Boardwalk Times. I want to say thank you very much for your help on sourcing all of this, because
Absolutely.
Right now this is all out in the ether. This is out in the ephemera. So in order to be able to talk about this today, people like Theme Park Wizard, people like Vash, these guys are essential in following what's going on in the theme park space. This conversation was originally part of That Park Place Live, which we do every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, or maybe not. Stay tuned for that. Feel free to hit the notification bell if you would like to know about any updates that we probably will be announcing tomorrow on Tuesday. Of course, like this video if you like this video, share it out on social media if you know someone who might be interested in what we are throwing down. And we would be honored if you would subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.